Right, so you may or may not have heard, but the MLB is investigating potential violations from the Yankees and the Mets regarding Aaron Judge. I'm going to read this directly from MLBTradeRumors.com for you. So, Major League Baseball has opened an investigation into the Yankees and Mets to determine if their owners improperly communicated about free agency of AL MVP candidate Aaron Judge. Reports Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic. So this is legit. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. The investigation is rooted in the column by Andy Martino of Sports SNY earlier this month. Martino wrote that the Mets are unlikely to pursue Judge in free agency in part because of the mutual respect between Steve Cohen and Hal Steinbrenner. As part of this piece, Martino also wrote, talking to Mets people about this all through the year, the team in Queens sees Judge as a Yankee, uniquely tailored to be an icon in their uniform, stadium, and branding efforts. Owners Steve Cohen and Hal Steinbrenner enjoy a mutual beneficial relationship and do not expect to spend that with a high-profile bidding war. The only way people involved can see the Mets changing course and pursuing Judge would be if the Yankees somehow declared themselves totally out of the bidding. To be clear, Martino did characterize that as the sole reason the Mets would choose to sit out in the Judge bidding. He did not expressly state that Cohen and Steinbrenner had talked about Judge's free agency. He went on to note the Mets would be wary of signing another deal in excess of $300 million, including the Francisco Lindors that they have already done. The Mets could certainly make a legitimate baseball argument for not going after Judge, but communication among owners is not to pursue a free agent. If it occurred, would be collusion. Okay. It would be a violation of the collective bargaining agreement. The MLB Players Association expressed concern about the SNY article into the league. Rosenthal notes, spurring the investigation, Rosenthal adds that MLB is expected to request communication records between Cohen and Steinbrenner. And this is where it gets potentially a little dicey. In the 1980s, arbitrators found a pattern of collusion among owners that depressed the 1985 to 87 free agent markets. In 1990, owners agreed to pay players $280 million as part of a settlement. Renewed collusion allegations arose in the early 2000s, and Rosenthal notes the league agreed to pay a $12 million settlement, but no admission of guilt during the 2006 CBA negotiations. The MLBPA can file a grievance on Judge's behalf if they feel like they're basically trying to take a suitor away from him. And Rosenthal writes that the union would have to demonstrate both an improper communication between the Yankees and the Mets actually occurred, and Judge's market was harmed by that communication. But meanwhile, Ken Rosenthal also suggests that if they're going to do that, the MLBPA also needs to take issue with the Astros in an unrelated matter. They relate to the comments made by Houston owner Jim Crane last night on the free agency status of Cy Young winner Justin Verlander. Brian McTaggart of MLB wrote that Crane said Verlander is seeking a deal similar to Max Scherzer, the owner said this, who secured a 3-year, $130 million deal with the Mets last winter as part of an interview with MLB.com on Tuesday. Crane isn't quoted on the record mentioning Scherzer, telling McTaggart of Verlander he's looking at that camp, which I think there's only one or two. JV's probably got a few years left, and he wants to make the most of it. I think he's going to test the market on that. Anyway, it goes further and further and further. I'm going to link this article down below so you can take a look at it yourself. But this is how easy that teams can get dinged just for talking about pending free agents. It's happened before. Obviously, they have massive settlements before, and it looks like it might be happening again here in the Judge situation. So I'm really curious to see what takes place there, whether there's going to be some kind of fine associated or whether they're going to be actually formally accused of collusion, colluding with each other to basically, help themselves or stymie Judge's market, which is going to be robust regardless of what happens here. But you let me know what you think, gang. I'm curious to know if you've heard about this. And again, read the article for yourself, make up your own opinion, and let me know what you think in the comments. So, and if anything else comes out about this, any resolution or matter, I'll put out another video on that too. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to do that right now, and be sure to hit the notification bell. That way you know exactly when stuff like this comes out, or anything else in free agency and trades and everything else, because things are starting to slowly trickle in as well. So, but that's what I've got for you right now. This one's an interesting one. Came out kind of last night, and I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. So, and again, I'll keep you filled in on anything, gang. Talk to you later.